Hello, friends. I am the Reverend Dr. Thaeda Franz. Today, I want to talk about something that lives underneath a lot of our struggles with money, visibility, and receiving, and that's worth. Many of us carry an unspoken belief that worth is something we have to earn, that will finally be seen, supported, or provided for once we improve, heal, fix, or prove ourselves in some way. But underneath that belief is a quieter, more destabilizing one. As I am right now, I'm not enough. And that belief doesn't usually show up as a thought, it shows up in the body. It shows up as tension, as heaviness, as an inner voice that says, it sounds nice to say that I'm enough, but it can't really be true. So here's a question. I want you to just notice. You don't answer it intellectually. How does it feel to consider that you have a right to be seen, heard, and supported exactly as you are today, without changing a thing? For many people, the answer is complicated. Some of them soften with relief. Some of them have parts that really tighten up and object very loudly. If this is resonating so far, you might want to pause for a moment, or even like or save this video so you can come back to it later. We often interpret that tension with worth as failure, but really it's just a learned survival strategy. From a young age, many of us were taught that it was safer to be smaller, safer to downplay our gifts, safer to avoid drawing attention to ourselves, safer to prioritize being liked over fully expressing who we were. Minimization, being smaller, often begins as protection. If being too much once led to criticism or rejection or punishment, then shrinking makes sense. If standing out disrupted family relationships or social dynamics, staying quiet kept the peace. Over time, this just becomes automatic. We deflect compliments. We hesitate to name our strengths. We apologize for speaking up. We apologize for needing things. Sometimes we apologize for just existing. And the irony is that the strategy that once kept us safe eventually begins to cost us. It limits our capacity to receive. And it quietly reinforces the idea that worth is conditional, something we have to continually re-earn. Worth and receiving are inseparable. People who struggle with worth often notice that receiving feels awkward or undeserved. Compliments bounce off, help feels uncomfortable, success brings guilt instead of a sense of accomplishment or satisfaction. Even rest or pleasure can feel suspect. This isn't because something's wrong with you. It's because worth and receiving live in the same nervous system response. If you learned through family systems, religion, culture, or trauma that you were fundamentally flawed or not enough, then receiving becomes dangerous. Good things arriving feel like threat, and they keep you from staying small. So the system chooses safety over nourishment. Part of you chooses to minimize, keeps you quiet, telling you to be just like everyone else, don't stand out. Instead of trying to eliminate those parts of us, asking us to minimize, which usually just creates shame, it can be far more helpful to get curious. What does minimizing protect you from? For some, it prevents a spiral of self-criticism after being visible. For others, it avoids being labeled arrogant or awkward or too much. Sometimes it keeps a relationship stable in environments where confidence or success feels threatening. That minimizing part isn't sabotaging you. It's trying to keep you safe. Your work isn't to silence it, it's to reassure it. Worth doesn't arrive by striving. It isn't unlocked by perfection. It doesn't require erasing the messy or loud or tender parts of yourself. Worth is remembered. You don't have to change a thing to be worthy. You only have to start remembering. If you want support exploring this work more deeply, especially around worth, receiving, and your relationship with money, I share more about that in the description below. And if this video supported you, feel free to subscribe or share it with someone who might need to hear this today. I'm really glad you are here. Grace and peace.